Where is Colorado Springs growing? What are those major growth areas? What do they look like? What's the impact of those growth areas? Stay tuned to the end and you're going to get to hear all about it. Hey guys, really quick before we get into the meat of this video, I just wanted to say really fast, if you haven't done so already, number one, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell down below. We put at least 2 videos out a week, and I want you to stay updated on all the new videos we have coming out about the area, so that way you can stay in tune to what's happening, things to do, and check out all the cool stuff out here. Also, I wanted to say, if you've got any questions whatsoever, please do not hesitate to call us at our team number, 719-266-2725. You could also email us at info@jdmret.net, and we will get back to you as quickly as possible. And that's any questions with anything whatsoever, whether it's real estate related or just coming out here to visit or moving to this area, anything you've got question-wise, or even if you've got something else that you want to just mention that might be a great video to be able to do that you haven't seen yet, please reach out. You can either call that number at 719-266-2725 or shoot us that email at info@jdmret.net, or you can also post a comment in the messages below and we will absolutely get back to you as quickly as possible to answer all those. We service this area, we live in this area, and we represent this area. We love working here. So hope you guys enjoy this video. So today, guys, what we're talking about specifically is these massive growth areas in Colorado Springs. If you've been to Colorado Springs, you've probably seen it. You've seen all the new home construction that's going on out there. You've seen all the different planning processes that are happening, all the different shopping centers that are popping up, the different entertainment areas that are popping up as well. And if you've lived or been in Colorado any kind of time whatsoever, you've probably heard it thrown around, hey, give it less than 10 years and Colorado Springs and Denver are going to be connected. Sure. So we're here to talk a little bit about that today and what that means, and we'll be getting more and more involved with this as we go through this video series for you as well, and more specific looks at different neighborhoods, but we're just going to kind of broad brush stroke it today in this aspect. And today I've got with me Diane Oatman. She's an agent on the team. She lives out in these areas. She sees this happening on a daily basis. She's an expert on this as well. But really, some of the biggest things we're seeing growth-wise out in Colorado Springs is mainly to the north. I mean, it's really kind of crazy with the different environments you get, because you start like at the downtown area, yes, and as you go further south it gets more arid, it gets more like Pueblo. Yes. And that's not what a lot of folks want in the Colorado Springs area. There are a lot of military bases down to the further south, and I think that helps drive a lot of growth down there, but you don't see the same growth in Fountain as you do up in the Black Forest, the Peyton, the Cowhan, the Monument areas or anything like that. And I think that's because of what they have to offer. I mean, you live up in that area too. Yes. I mean, you guys chose to live up there because you wanted that more of that greener, a little bit not as arid or deserty, high desert, right? So what have you kind of seen happening out there as far as growth since you guys have been there? You guys have probably seen a massive population explosion since you guys have been there, right?
Certainly. So we moved to Colorado Springs in 2008. And at the time, we were limited to maybe one grocery, a couple restaurants, right in Monument, just the schools, very limited. But over that period, from then to now, there has been a massive explosion, not just in small businesses, but also in housing.
Yeah. I mean, you see it happening. So my wife and I live up in the Teller County area, and we go to the Springs. Half the time we're going up to Northgate, we're going up to Enterquest, we're going up to those areas on the north side of I-25, because that's where all the new things are popping up out there. Shields, like all the different restaurants that are happening out there. Top Golf is out there now. So many different things, and we'll drive to go up there and do those because that's where the new stuff is. There's even a new amphitheater. Have you heard about that one?
No.
Oh yeah, just south of Voyager. From Top Golf, there's supposed to be a new amphitheater that's supposed to be our version of Red Rocks. It won't be Red Rocks, obviously, but it'll be an outdoor amphitheater.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that's going to be a cool venue to have.
Yeah.
Background's going to be Pikes Peak. It's going to be gorgeous down there doing that. But with all this growth that we have out there with the homes, and I think there's a lot of thought processes, obviously, that go into this with the development. And what's important for people to really know and understand is it's not going to go on forever, number one. We can't continue so far out without having something that's very important for livelihood, which is called water, that comes up. And Colorado Springs itself is sitting on top of aquifers. They've got different reservoirs that help feed and help do different things within the municipality itself also. But I do know with what we've seen lately in the last couple of years, they've really been stressing folks going from having, these softscapes, so grass and bushes and stuff where they're actually watering these flowers, gardens, to more of a hardscape mentality, because they're trying to conserve water because of the massive growth that we have happening to the northeast. And those are huge things for people to understand and realize too, is that that's going to limit some supply at some point, which can then slow down the growth of homes potentially, unless they come up with a different solution, which could then drive up housing prices as well. So, because that supply and demand always reaches itself.
So I know for a fact that in Monument, the water table was so tapped that they had to truck water in for some of the developments in the Monument area. But now, if you look at where that development is now taking place, so if you look north of Monument on that I-25 corridor, you have places like Larkspur, Franktown, new developments like Remuda Ranch, like Castle Pines. And those developments all speak true to my light and design background, because I've been doing houses up in those areas. So they're tapping the different source of water for those new subdivisions. So you would find the expansion between Monument and Castle Rock really exploding between there.
Yeah, and there's some beautiful areas up in there.
Gorgeous areas.
Especially, you get in the Larkspur area, there's places back in there you would not even believe how close you are to Denver or Colorado Springs, with some of these beautiful areas and beautiful homes that are sitting back in there as well.
And homeowners get to enjoy their home and not have their neighbor touching them like this. So you get to enjoy the space. So you're more on an acreage or more, to anywhere between 1 to 5 acres of property around your house.
Yeah.
So if you have animals, depending of course on your HOA and what they've defined for that space, you can utilize your space for your horses. Most times they will have, equestrian ranches close by.
You see a bunch of that up there. And then you get the mix too. I mean, you could be out in the Peyton and Callahan area and they've got small suburbs getting put in where it is tighter homes, but they're more affordable also. And it might be a little bit further away than you want it to actually be from where you're working, but there's easy avenues to get in and out. I mean, there's 24 if you get out in the Peyton area, coming back in. Mark Scheffel can get you down pretty easily down to the Colorado Springs area. So there's certainly avenues that folks can take to get in and out. And I find it funny because within the Colorado Springs area, you always end up getting niched kind of into the areas that you live in, because there's so much that's involved there, especially in these newer areas where they're building these new shopping centers, these new restaurants, these new entertainment places, and folks that live in there, they kind of hub within those and stay within those. I'm an anomaly because I live in an area that doesn't have any of that. So I come down, if I'm going to drive that far, I'm going to pick where I'm going with a lot of that. But for folks that live out on the west side, they seem to stay on the west side. For folks that live on the east side, they stay on the east side with all those restaurants, because there's so many selections that are out there too. So those are some pretty big items as well as we continue to push out. But we have a lot of growth that's happening. It did slow down after 2008. We've had a lot of trying to catch up. And I think COVID caused a lot of that too, because lots of folks started realizing, like, well, if I can work remotely, why not live where I want to? And folks would prefer to live here than some other places that might be higher cost of living, like California. So,
but I would share a little bit of information with you.
Yeah.
When people are selling their homes here in Colorado Springs, not necessarily are they moving out of Colorado.
No, they're not.
Because it's such a beautiful state. They may move to another area in Colorado, a little more remote. They have their privacy, So not always people moving out of Colorado Springs would be out of the state.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
So we got them moving, plus we have people coming in, which makes it even more competitive too.
Yeah.
So, well, there you have it, guys. There's a great, just broad stroke view of what's happening expansion-wise here within the Colorado Springs area and the Pikes Peak area and the metropolitan sections. We're going to be hitting lots of different videos on a lot of these specific neighborhoods so you can see what they look like, what their price points are in there, what the condition of the homes are, what the amenities are, different types of HOAs, all that kinds of fun stuff, so that you guys have a really good snapshot of what these look like. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I just want to say again really quick before you send off the page, make sure you hit that subscription button and that notification bell down below. That keeps you updated with all the new videos that we got coming out each week. And also, if you got any questions whatsoever for us, we are local experts of these areas, and we are local real estate agents within these areas, and we love helping people out. We got people calling us all the time for these, but please just call us 719-266-2725, or you can email us at info@jdmret.net, and we look forward to hearing from you and seeing you next time.